she's a size queen, meaning that anything that is bigger is better.
I'm Aaron Michael, and this is Cervical Tales, stories of the everyday woman.
A good friend of mine had been single for probably the better part of half a decade. And she had always been attracted to these uber masculine men, muscular, masculine men. And her former husband actually was a military man, very skilled military man. I believe he was in the special forces even. And so she had this certain physique, this look, this attitude that she was deeply attracted to. Now, she had started to enter into conversation with a psychologist who was kind of wore glasses, kind of just very much standard white boy opie, for lack of a better term. I mean, just kind of like a nerd in a lot of ways. Had a great mind. She enjoyed the conversations that they had, but she just did not feel the magnetism that she would expect in the kind of a partner that that she was looking for, because she definitely did want to have a relationship and to start to begin to even like look at having a family or expanding the family that she already had. She had one child. So there was all these preconceived notions of what this guy that was going to rock her world, bring her back into relationship, was supposed to elicit from her from a felt state. So she goes into, and I want to add as well, she's a size queen, meaning that anything that is bigger is better. And I think kind of the typical size that she was talking about really wanting was like the ideal would be something around like 9 inches, 9 inches plus even. So now you have a very small spectrum of humanity that she can match with. So I then asked her later on, after she'd gone on this date with this guy, what it was like. And it blew her mind. She had climbed on top of him, and in the experience, and she's also a body worker, she's also a psychologist, and so over time I've been talking to her about using these skill sets of actually activating her own cervix, the ability to breathe into and dilate the cervix and actually have it join with whomever, whatever size penis that she was with. And the shift that I had seen it cause in clients when they were able to do this. And so I said, well, why don't you try it out with this guy? So she goes into the experience, decides to have sex with him, and when she describes it to me later, she said it was as if something in her heart opened up. Comes out that this guy also had a lot of insecurities. Insecurities about himself as a lover, not thinking that he would be able to provide these deep sexual sensations of pleasure, and all the stories that she had shared about her former life. And he's looking at her because she's this beautiful Viking woman, and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to provide that to you. It rocks her world to the point that her body is left shaking. She is left breathless. She is wondering what is happening. And her waters just opened and gushed all around him without having any effort. It was not by manual stimulation. This was with his cock. And he was simply blown away because he was able to not just enjoy, but like surf that pleasure. Not only did he discover an incredible experience for himself, but it so powerfully reoriented her that she went away from this image of what the perfect male was, this ideal in her mind, and found and discovered the person that was there with her. But it wasn't about him. It was about the fact that she was able to actually open herself and then be met. And this is the piece that was very interesting, because then when I asked her, I'm like, well, I know you're a size queen. So what was it like with this guy? Did he have like a ginormous cock? Was that what happened? And she goes, no, quite the opposite. He was somewhere around average. In fact, maybe on the lower side of average. But the pleasure that she felt was not because she was getting stretched or pushed, but instead that she had the room to encounter herself in that sexual experience, be met by this man, and then that allowed for the full engorgement. It allowed for the lowering of her cervix to meet him. And with that meeting, it imprinted an entirely new story, a new way of being with a partner. And that not only opened her heart, it opened her mind to the possibility that this person might have something to offer me more than just the visual. And the beautiful thing is, not only was it that his cock became the ideal cock for her now, but he became the ideal partner. They became married, they entered into a relationship, and now years later, they are together, and this is the happiest she has ever been. Because it wasn't about the guy fitting this ideal concept in her brain of what was perfect. It wasn't about him, winning her over and taking her out of this prolonged state of being single. It was that she was able to actually step out of herself and step into her true self, meet him, and do this in a way that was congruent into her love life, into her sex life, that then invited him and her into this entirely new state where the two of them could feel this deep oneness. But again, it all started with her being able to connect to her womb, connect her womb to her heart, and then this vortex-like energy opened up inside her and joined with the vortex and open-heartedness that opened up inside him. And together, the joining of their forces birthed this entirely new relationship to themselves, to each other, and to life.